So in terms of human capital, so that kind of economic value that we place on employees' experience and skills and, the kind of academics, are you seeing a shift? That I'm quite cynical, and I'm loving this conversation because it's giving me hope that this is shifting, because obviously I'm dealing with companies that are wanting people with degrees and master's degrees and lots of qualifications in, technology, cyber, whatever it might be. So are you seeing a shift in those kinds of, I guess, human capital values?
I think we're definitely seeing employers looking to find, the thing with an employer is they know what, across their company, the different roles that they offer, they know what success looks like, they know what a kind of a great performer in a certain role looks like, they know the kind of the skills, the talents, the kind of personality traits, the broader skills that they have to be successful. And that's obviously going to be a mix of maybe qualifications. If you think about somewhere, well, I mean, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works straight away, but let's say software development, you need a certain level of competence to be able to perform the job. If you're going to then be leading a team, you need certain leadership capabilities and team building capabilities to help you get the best out of your team. And so, an employer is going to be looking for a mix of those in an interview. And so if you're at that entry level point as a young person, how do you evidence kind of some of those broader skills if you might not have the endorsements or the references previously from other roles? Now, as I mentioned all of that, and the qualifications that go with it, we actually did a presentation to the Saudi government the other month, and one of the big things they were saying was about credentialing, actually, and it was what's more valuable, somebody who's done a 5-year software development degree or somebody who's been in the workplace doing software development for 5 years but doesn't have the degree to support them. Who would you hire? Somebody straight out of university with 5 years of qualification versus somebody with 5 years experience? And that's a completely open-ended one, and I'm sure people have different opinions on that. But I think we're definitely seeing a shift in businesses wanting to see more of those broader talents. Yes, everybody wants somebody to be kind of qualified to be able to do what they do. I guess the question is, how do you measure that qualification? What makes somebody qualified? Is it a certificate, as in my previous example, or is it the experience? If it's the experience, again, how do you credential that to support the person's onward journey? I mean, I think the shift in, whether it's been a shift or whether it's just becoming more prevalent, but I think the recent research through McKinsey Global Institute on their 2030 forecast really encapsulates it for me. And they said, research indicates that the skills driving productivity and growth are evolving beyond traditional academic credentials, requiring innovative recruitment and development strategies. I mean, that just nails the entire problem. The signaling power for academic grades is diminishing, which is requiring industry to be more innovative in its recruitment and how it develops its workforce.
Look, I couldn't agree more with what you're saying about innovative recruitment. Obviously, from my perspective, I can see and my company can see that is going to have to be the way forward. So creativity, thinking outside the box, posting on job boards is just not going to cut it. And look, I'm a big advocate as well for hiring for potential. And obviously, I can help companies with that because I can take the time to go find those people. But that's quite a courageous thing for companies to do. And also, it's okay for those larger companies that could potentially take the risk for hiring for potential as opposed to hiring for experience or, qualifications. But again, that's what I like about what you're doing, is that you're making, it's not just accessibility for students, but also for companies as well, to be able to find that talent that ordinarily they probably wouldn't have found because they were directing their search on someone with really specific criteria and potentially missing out on a whole swathe of talent that they wouldn't have been introduced to before.